Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 11th to the 17th of November 2024. So the week seems to culminate on Friday. Until then there's a build-up, but we have the full moon at 24 degrees Taurus at 21:26 UK time. So in the run-up to that, we're still assessing things that have happened in the past few weeks. We're still in the first phase of Mercury retrograde in Cancer, noticing our emotion, noticing our patterns, being able to change our mental emotional state, challenge ideas, cleanse long-held behaviours, and just observe anything that's coming up that might be part of the actual retrograde from the 6th of December. So largely mental emotional cleansing and breaking of conditioning and patterns, making positive changes will be the general theme of that Mercury retrograde. We're in the week that's heading up to next week, which is the big change of Pluto going into Aquarius. So this is all about tying up loose ends, letting go of the past, removing blocks, limitations, and liberating ourselves. So at this full moon on the 15th, we're looking at Sun 24 degrees Scorpio, Moon 24 degrees Taurus, finding that in our chart, which house it's in, whether it's making aspects to other planets. And I do have a module, a standalone module if you like, on aspects and angles and how to work with them in your chart. So do contact me if you'd like to get to that next level of learning astrology. We have a couple of significant factors of this full moon. First of all, we've got Saturn turning direct. So Saturn turns direct at 12 degrees Pisces, having been retro since the 30th of June at 19 degrees. So looking at 12 to 19 degrees Pisces, where has that really been a story for you? It's about having a spiritual backbone and being able to break free of consensus trance, not having to be part of the herd, having a strong core, knowing what you stand on and for, and not getting swept up with the emotions of the collective. And to help with that, the moon is making a conjunction. It's meeting up with Uranus in Taurus. So Uranus is our sovereignty, our rebelliousness, our ability to see things differently and be our unique selves. So we can see here that altogether these are some very powerful aspects, all working as one, releasing us on every level, physical, mental, emotional, drawing a line in the sand by next Wednesday that from this day forward everything will be different, tuning us in to our ability to create our inner landscape, decide what frequency we're on, and see how that changes and manifests things on the outside. So a Taurus moon on its own would be to do with emotional security, where we seek that in the physical world and the outside world, when we need to actually find that in our heart centre and presence. But with Uranus nearby, it adds a spiritual aspect, raising our emotions to those of bliss and joy and peace, rather than pain and want and need and lack. So here I feel we can step from lack consciousness to unity consciousness, but not falling in line with groups and needing to belong, but actually unifying with our higher self, with our direct connection to source, and standing strong and clear to be a channel for our unique essence and expression. So for the beginning of the week, we're letting go of old ideas and patterns. There's a breakthrough moment with the Uranus conjunct the moon on Thursday, liberating us to be our true selves. And then by the end of the week, we have Mercury making an opposition to Jupiter retrograde and the moon. So the second phase of this week, as we've cleared for weeks, months and years now, will start to show a new road ahead, clear the way. Jupiter is our majesty, it's also the remover of obstacles. So a much lighter feeling starting to come in there early, as Mercury can see things differently and see a way through. But with Jupiter retro and the moon involved, both in Gemini, this will be largely on the mental, conceptual and perspective plane. So while the full moon clears the heart space, Mercury opposite Jupiter is going to bring in bigger perspective in the mental realm, and Pluto preparing to step over the threshold into Aquarius to start a whole new cycle. So we're really very close to a climatic shift. Everything must go. Ask to be shown any remaining blocks, behaviours, patterns, limitations. Observe with Mercury retrograde. First phase, observe what Mercury is bringing up in Cancer before retrograde next month. The cells of our body. Feel where Saturn turning direct in Pisces has centered you, the centre of each cell, the spiritual knowing, oneness. Stay open to any flash insights and messages as the moon connects with Uranus on the full moon to break free. So hard to put into words really, but just observe, feel, reflect, release. As by next week, when Pluto goes into Aquarius, we'll actually be operating in a very different landscape. So the old ways of thinking and being won't sustain anymore. So if you would like to see where any of this is happening for you, I am available, zoehind7@gmail.com, for 1 hour readings, astrology, tarot, numerology, all recorded MP3 for you to listen back to and get more layers each time you do my course. You're welcome to take any of the modules if you've got gaps in your knowledge. There's a module on the houses, aspects and angles, calculating transits, all sorts of things. Taught on a very intuitive level, one-to-one with you, so that you do fully comprehend, but with notes and videos as well for you to keep. Post these videos on my YouTube channel, Zoe Astro, and on my Instagram, zoehind7, and Facebook, AstroZoe. So something big is coming. Let's make the room, let's stay still, centered, present, be inner guided to make the right moves at the right time. Tune in with sensitivity to feel these different aspects, knowing that there's not really very much to be done, but it's more about being and allowing. So wishing you a reflective and expansive week, and I'll see you next week.